There it goes. Oh, we're not muted this time, like episode 10. Welcome, everybody, to Those Two Nerds podcast, the podcast to be at on a Sunday afternoon. I don't think anybody's in the morning unless you're probably EU or across the world.
Yeah.
But, welcome. I am joined today by the co-host of Those Two Nerds, the talent. I'm just here with the brains. And not even so much of that, really. Nick Displays Games, and I am Vera Coach, the other co-host. I wouldn't say host because, we don't want anybody's feelings to get hurt. We are buddies.
We co-host this together.
Yeah.
We have the same amount of input on what's going on.
So, pretty interesting week, I would say, as far as gaming news as a whole. A lot of cool things came out. We got tons of new drama, I would say, and just overall new releases, things that are coming out to new systems and stuff like that. So we'll jump straight into it, talking about the PS5. Few upgrades that has already been confirmed by multiple sources. SSDs are now going to be in the PS5s.
Yep, they've talked about those for. It's been speculated, right?
Yes.
For probably every bit of a year, maybe more, that they were going to be putting SSDs in them. I mean, mechanical hard drives are great. They're awesome. They've been around for a long time, but they're slow.
Yes, SSDs. Anybody that does not know, an SSD is like the best thing that you can buy, especially if you're getting a PC.
Yeah.
SSDs make your games load faster and everything. It just drives the computer, even harder, but it doesn't use a lot of power. That's the awesome thing about it. It's fast, pretty eco-friendly on the computer itself. Another thing that PS5 has confirmed on their controllers. So everybody has the bumpers that are up at the top that you push in. You can clearly feel them push in. These are actual triggers on the controllers.
And they're supposed to be like pressure related.
It's supposed to feel like a mouse click.
Yeah. They said if you press a certain level, it'll be different than if you pull it all the way down.
For sure.
They said that they may have borrowed or at least was influenced a little bit on this tech from the Joy-Cons of Nintendo.
Yeah.
Their rumble control.
Yeah.
Because there is rumble. Rumble's in it. But they said when you're walking down a field, the rumble should feel different than when you get smashed by a tackle. Or when you're walking through mud, it should feel different than when you have bullets shooting you,
Well, I feel bad for the devs because, they're going to have something that matches that code, and it's not going to be the easiest thing around town. Kind of breaking news that has kind of been coming in, flowing through Twitter, been checking it here on the iPad. Fortnite. Has Fortnite created the biggest finesse of 2019? Because if anybody hasn't watched the event yet, Fortnite has basically went online for Season 11, and everybody was playing a game. It shut off all the servers, but before it did that, it sucked the whole map into a black hole. The screen, when you first log into Fortnite now, there is no character, you can't change your skins, you can't do anything. It is just a picture of a black hole and a black screen with a little tiny box, super tiny, that says exit on it. So nobody knows when these servers are going to go back up. Like I said, we're keeping pretty updated with what is going on the story itself, and you never know. So people that are enjoying Fortnite...
now, this just happened now.
Like within the past about hour and a half. And, currently Fortnite, just looking over here at Twitch, is currently sitting at almost 1.2 million people watching. I've seen it peak at about 1.6, maybe even higher.
They're watching nothing. Right?
Yeah.
It's a black hole.
Yeah. Kinky Bikini has came in and said, I think you have streameritis. Oh, jeez, that's a bad move by me. All right, streameritis. What do you mean by streameritis? Like, I feel like I'm always streaming. Is that a bad thing? Am I doing it wrong?
Do you get a shot for that, or like some penicillin? Does it clear it up?
Yeah, but Fortnite, even he's not very interested, but when I kind of told you the story, it sounds really neat because essentially another cool thing that Fortnite did, they turned the game off of Twitch. So Twitch could not even see Fortnite. That was not a game in the category anymore. And people were scared. All these kids, that's their life. They're like, I'm going to become a full-time streamer doing this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess that would be scary if the thing that you do
for your job
isn't really there
anymore.
I don't know how much money some of these people make that were crying the loudest about it, but as you can tell, the people who have the largest dollar pools every month, they're not really saying anything.
Like, eh. But overall, the game is very questionable what's going to happen. Nobody knows. It is chapter 2, so the best thing I can probably say is I feel like I got a hiccup. You ever get that?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like they're calling it chapter 2. They're basically redoing the game in a way. So expect a lot of new additions and stuff like that. And, kind of bouncing off of that, did you guys, with Twitch, as everybody may know, Ninja, one of the most famous streamers, switched over to Mixer a few months ago. And Microsoft has finally released a report on viewership increase. What do you think, and I'm asking you personally, what do you think the overall increase, has it been an increase, has it been a decrease, or you think the numbers are relatively about the same?
Now, who gave them this number?
This is from Microsoft.
And how would they know?
They track it by viewership.
Okay.
Viewership, it's like viewership hours, numbers of viewers, and
so
stuff
Microsoft
like that.
is only telling them how, because Mixer is Microsoft.
Yes.
They're only telling them how many people are watching him?
Yes, currently.
I would say it probably went up.
So,
because that guy's got fans, right? I mean, and his fans are going to follow him wherever he goes.
So the overall on that report, it did have a slight increase in actual follower rates, viewership. But what they have noticed is the main goal on why they brought Ninja over was to increase other streamers as well, to kind of bring more people, so more people to go follow the people that are streaming already on there.
And, I mean, we kind of suspected that was going to happen anyway.
But it didn't. It did the exact opposite.
So people are watching less.
People are watching less of the streamers they were normally following.
Because they're all watching him now.
They're now watching Ninja. So Ninja has not only... I mean, there's still the same amount of people. There has been an obviously increase. But the overall viewership has pretty much switched over to Ninja strictly. Which kind of sucks.
I think that...
What can you expect?
That probably happened a lot on Twitch as well. I mean, if you were streaming, you better not do it on a night that he's streaming the same game, because no one's going to watch you. No one cares about you.
In his peak hours when he was playing with people like Juju, people like Drake, and stuff like that, I mean, this is gaming-breaking internet things. Like, he's such an influential person. Everybody knows him. If you say Ninja, the average, anybody knows who he is. Even adults that don't even play video games, they've heard him in the news stories. He's been on Jimmy Fallon.
I would say there's a good number of people that know who he is now.
Yeah.
But to put him on the same level as some other celebrities, no, I wouldn't say so. Because not everybody watches TV. Not everybody knows. And a lot of people don't know anything about gaming or what it is that we do recreationally / not quite professionally yet.
But, I mean, overall, I thought it was a neat stat. But at the same time, a lot of people kind of was like, I kind of expected that. I mean, you can't expect just because I brought Ninja over here that magically his viewers are going to go start watching other people.
Yeah.
They're dedicated to him. Anybody that made the switch over to watch just strictly Ninja, because that's all you're doing when you go to Mixer, in my opinion. I don't know too many famous streamers that, went to Mixer and now they have an active viewership and stuff like that. And, they have their viewers and their dedicated people go switch over to somebody else.
Sure.
So it was kind of a neat stat. Another neat stat, Call of Duty Mobile. So Call of Duty released a mobile game with a lot of the old maps from Black Ops 2, Black Ops, and stuff like that. And
what's the microtransactions look like on that game?
It's actually really good. I was really shocked. So the overall game...
Doing better than that Mario Kart game?
I would say so, because every day you sign in, you get a bonus. Like a 7-day bonus, you got a free skin for your guy. like a pretty cool skin.
I guess and that's just you got to log in.
Yeah, you just got to log in. You don't even have to play a game. The rank system. What's funny is they put a rank system in the game before World War II did it. Like World War II was launched for like 3 months, and I know it's kind of an older game. They didn't have a rank system. You're telling me a mobile game has a better rank system than a game that, you know, actual like full-on devs made?
Learning from past mistakes, I think. Plus, I think that's why people play mobile stuff, right? They want to compete with their friends. They want to see how they do against other people. Even games like Candy Crush and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because mobile phones are so widespread. I mean, geez, some people have 2 mobile phones now if you're in business or whatever. Sometimes you have a work phone and you have your personal phone.
Yeah.
Everyone's got a mobile phone.
Yeah.
Now, where before it used to be sort of this luxury item, and it's not anymore.
You're not wrong. And I mean, that's the whole thing in my opinion. I mean, the overall the mobile game, it works great. It was right now it is the best launching game on a mobile.
Now, is it one you use a controller with, or
so it's still working? You can't use an actual controller, but you can,
because that'd be unfair to a lot of people who are not, you know.
Eventually, you can actually pair it with a Bluetooth controller, whether you have a SCUF, Xbox controller, something like that, something that has Bluetooth connectivity.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. The iOS 13 hit a couple weeks back, and now we can pair our Xbox controllers and our PS4 controllers. I haven't tried pairing my Switch controller yet, my Pro controller, but I'm sure it probably works. How freaking cool is that?
I think what they're trying to do is trying to hit a different audience. I know from my brother, he actually downloaded a game that's pretty much like a Subway Surfer Temple Run type game. That basically you get stars for however many points you get in a map. And it's pretty cool. It's like all these flashing lights, and it's really cool. It's got a little beat to it. It reminds me a lot of Thumper.
Oh, I like Thumper.
So it's similar to Thumper, but you can have a controller paired with it. And they're adding 5 new games. I think by the end of this month, there'll be 5 new games on the Apple Arcade Store.
Now, I haven't checked that out yet.
Yeah.
But I've heard it was decent.
Yeah. Oh,
like there's a lot of variety of types of games. It's
there
not.
Is. Yeah.
It's not all the same types of games.
And they're full. I think they're full games. I don't think you have to pay anything.
No, from what I read, now don't 100% tell me, but I'm pretty sure that there's no microtransactions. It's full experiences.
Yeah.
Which I like anything that's just going to give you the game. Yep. But now, have you tried out the PS4 controller on any of your Apple devices yet, or on your
does
tablet?
work. It works perfectly.
It works pretty well, I thought. Now, I haven't done it natively from one of the App Store games, but what I did do was I was using PS4 Share with my phone one night, and I did it with my iPad another night, and other than like the normal lag, like that couple of second
Bluetooth lag, yeah.
It's a little it's not even the Bluetooth lag. It's a little bit of lag that you have just because you were streaming it.
Okay.
It's not bad. It's less than a second.
Yeah.
So it's completely playable, and you could get used to the lag, and it felt good because before you kind of had to like hold your thing and kind of just know where the buttons were, and it was neat. But I'm like, I'm never gonna use that feature. But now. Man, I was sitting on my patio the other night. I'm like, I'm gonna just see what's going on Borderlands on PS3, and then I brought my controller out. I was on the patio. I was
grinding.
Drinking a soda, enjoying the nighttime air, and it was cool.
Yeah, I mean,
it was super cool.
I mean, right now I feel like personally that the mobile games are. I don't want to say they're going to be competitive to other game companies because that's just not realistic. But overall, I think they're going to be a little bit more complex and a little bit more. Heavy on the trying to think of the best word to use, but it's just going to be more heavy influential. Like you're going to have people that want to play mobile games because they're neat. If you can play with a controller, so many people are going to be like, that's awesome. I'm actually going to play this game.
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of people already have these things.
Yeah, I mean, most people have a PS4.
It's not like they got to go out and buy a special thing, but who knows? Heck, maybe they'll sell more controllers.
Yep.
Thanks for the like, Jason, on Facebook. Appreciate it, man.
Yep.
But I think the thing that is probably the coolest and the most exciting about it is we're getting new PS5 controllers. Now, from what I understand, I believe your old controllers will work, but they're not going to have all the same functionality. And the only other thing interesting going on with PlayStation, I guess in the news, other than the PS5, they've confirmed it's coming out by holiday 2020. They didn't give us a date or a price yet, but between SSDs, VR, built-in compatibility, they said it is built into it. You don't have to
have a box.
Have to buy a separate thing, from what I understand.
Okay.
And maybe that's not all models. Maybe that's certain models. I don't know. They haven't said. But what do you think? What do you think the price is going to start at? Now you got to remember
the
PS4 came out
$400
at $399.
Yep, $400.
But remember, the PS3 came out a while back and it was $500.
I think they'll have the $500 price tag.
I think you're right. I think it's going to hit.
It's going to have.
It's going to hit 500. Maybe 6.
It's going to hit 500. I would see it being very hard to go over 6, just because that's a lot of money for a console. The console.
You're almost in PC.
You're almost in PC.
Another couple $100 and you could get
a decent PC.
Not a baller PC, but I'm telling you, you could get a decent PC.
Yeah.
For $800-900. Yeah.
And especially with everything going cross-platform. I mean, Fortnite broke that barrier of cross-platform, and now everybody's kind of getting on the bandwagon. Now, it might not come out on games on launch, but they've already announced, like, through multiple games, it's going to come out eventually.
I think that there is this whole not at launch thing will be a thing of the past. I think maybe the first few games that come out, and I don't think all games are going to be cross-platform. But when you have games like Dauntless that comes out and you can play with your friends on PC, you can play with your friends on Xbox, PS4, it's coming to the Switch later this year. And by the way, the game is super fun. I am not a huge Epic Games fan. I got it because Borderlands 3. I got the free Batman games or whatever, but I'm not a huge Epic Games fan. I don't hate the company. I kind of like that they're throwing a little competition towards Steam. And here's the thing that I liked about what Epic is doing. Say whatever you want to about them, and Fortnite's stupid, and Fortnite is lame. Yeah. Say whatever you want. But they give more royalty rights to the games sold on their store to the publishers than Steam does. Steam has always been known for, I think it's 70-30 or maybe it's 60-40.
Yeah.
They give them like 80.
That's pretty good.
Like, they're giving the publishers more of the money for their games and only keeping a little bit.
Yep.
That's sweet. You're going to start seeing some Epic exclusive games. Like right now, Borderlands 3 is currently exclusive. But back to this cross-platform play, I think that a lot more games in another year or two are going to launch with cross-platform play in it. Sony, it looks like they're finally getting on board.
Yep.
Finally getting on board with it. They were the ones that were hindering the whole process. They didn't want to play along with Microsoft. They didn't want to play along with Nintendo. They seemed to be okay with PC, but it's just silly. And Call of Duty, this is the only reason I even give two shits about the new Call of Duty, is I want to see how many copies of it sell. I want to see how many people are playing it on different platforms. I want to see how many people are actually utilizing the fact that this will be one of the first major AAA titles
that
with cross-platform play like that.
Yeah.
You can't say Minecraft, you can't say Dauntless, you can't say Rocket League as being a AAA title. Those games are great. Those games are fun. They are super good games.
In their own right,
It is not.
It's not a Call of Duty.
It's not a AAA game that's coming out. It's not a number one. It's not going to be on the bestseller list. I know Minecraft has sold a lot of copies.
And really, right? I mean, Fortnite, being all honest, Fortnite would not be even up in that category. That was the start. That was the start because they allowed PC players to play with Xbox and PC to play with PS4, Switch, however it may be. They just couldn't go back and forth. Xbox couldn't play with PC.
The Switch, I think, is going to be the little kid on the block. He's going to be for a little bit. Yeah. You're not going to see a lot of these AAA games come out.
Yeah.
But I think you're still going to see the games that can be played across multiple platforms, that you don't need, a high-end machine or a super powerful console to play them. Some of them are almost like mobile games. Yeah. And those are the ones that the Switch wants to get in on. Yeah. I mean, they got DC Universe Online there. Now, they don't have cross-platform yet, but they said that they want to integrate it and let them be able to play with PC players and whoever else has it. And I think that's great. This is what we've wanted for a long time. Yep. Play the game on the platform you want to play it on and be able to play with anyone else who owns the game.
Yeah, for sure. Kind of like getting off like the whole gaming, but we're still on the gaming.
Jason says he believes that the price for the PS5, it's officially called PlayStation 5. They finally gave it a name. Is $4.99 to start and $5.99 for a Pro version. Now I find that interesting. I don't think that there will be a Pro version at launch. What do you think?
I don't think there'll be a Pro version at launch, just because they're going to be more focused on selling the actual console itself, because the Pro is essentially, in my opinion, when I think of it, it's supposed to work out all the bugs and make it faster.
But I think he might be right. I think I don't think it'll launch necessarily.
But a few months after,
they have one. But maybe they'll have a bigger SSD in it.
They'll have a Pro.
No, I mean, like now they might launch it with different options. You know how Nintendo used to launch their systems, I'm not sure why, with like different storage capacities. Yeah. iPhones still do it and stuff. Maybe that's what he means by Pro.
For sure.
I gotta agree. I think $4.99 is probably going to be the price point. What does everybody else out there think? What do you guys think that the PS5 is going to launch at? And for that matter, what do you guys think the Xbox codename Scarlet or whatever it is?
Yeah.
What do you think that's going to launch at? Because you know that these things are almost like twin brothers.
Yeah.
And they're going to be very compatible, like not compatible, but comparable as far as
they always are.
The specs, they've shown the specs, and the specs are like right there.
Yeah.
You know, they're both running SSDs. I'm not sure about the controller functionalities. But what do you guys think? What do you think that these next-gen consoles are going to launch at? Let us know. Hit us up in the comments and stuff.
Yep. MK11, kind of on the Xbox and PS4 kick that we're on right now. MK11, for those that don't know, if you have Live, whether it's Xbox Live or PSN Plus or whatever it's called, right now MK11 you can play for free. It is free to play for a limited time. There is no set date on it. But make sure you guys going out there, download the game. It's an awesome game.
By the way, it's a huge download. So
it is, yes. So have an hour or so.
Make sure you got at least an hour or so to go watch a movie.
Yeah.
Preferably not one where you're sharing the internet speed.
Well, if you want to
go get a snack.
If you want to go watch a movie, I hate to break it to you, do not watch Gemini Man. Everybody's saying that is a box office flop.
Really?
That it's not good at all.
As bad as After Earth?
They're comparing.
What happened to Will Smith?
I don't think it's Will Smith. I think it's kind of like the Adam Sandler thing. He gets these movies. He's getting paid millions and millions of dollars.
Everyone ragged on him for Aladdin.
It was bad.
And I didn't think Aladdin was bad.
Aladdin's okay at best.
It just wasn't.
That was one of those movies, if it never got remade, I would have been completely...
I would have been fine with it too, but I tell you, I feel like the actors did a good job, and I felt Will Smith did fine.
But you can't be Robin Williams.
He wasn't trying to be Robin Williams.
I know, but what I'm trying to say is, like, that's one of those movies that should have probably never been touched. And I just personally wasn't a fan. I mean, Gemini Man, they were saying it's a flop.
So they're saying Gemini Man's no good.
Basically,
Joker is, I guess, Oscar nominee. We still have not seen it.
Right now, they're saying that Joker...
They're saying it might be one of the best films ever.
Will be the best film ever. But also this, with how the rates are going, that this weekend, again, it will be a box office smash.
I hate that when everyone tells you about how great something's going to be, and then it's all hyped up, and then you go watch it and you go... Meh, I've taken more entertaining dumps than that. You know?
I mean, my thing is this. I've read Twitter comments, and I will put it to you this way. And anybody that has watched the movie and that's kind of been in the dark, I have not seen any spoilers on this movie. And I've been on Twitter. I'm on Twitter 5 hours a day.
I have to say, I've seen a couple people, not very many, not like Avengers Endgame level of spoilers that people would have to be in douches. No Star Wars spoilers. No Harry Potter spoilers or whatever. It's been less. There've been two communities that I've been involved with. One is this community, the Joker community, and they're all like really tight-lipped about it. Everyone's pretty much just says, movie was good, or the movie was freaking good. And that's about all they'll tell you. The other community where people are like really tight-lipped is Gloomhaven. right? So that game has like a lot of reveals in the box. There's a lot of, if no one's played Gloomhaven, there's a whole lot of little boxes with inside this giant box, and they're all sealed, and it tells you right in the book, don't open these up. You have to wait till you get to certain points in the game or the story or whatever before you can open them up.
Yeah.
And people have actually adhered to this. And then, so when you go to a forum board and you're talking about Gloomhaven, they don't even say spoiler alert. They'll call something by its icon, not what it's actually called. So one guy will be like, hey, yeah, I was playing this character and it looks like Cthulhu Face Man, because that's what the little icon looks like. And then, but they won't tell you what his name is or what he does or anything like that. So I think that's neat that because most people they suck now. Like there was a bunch of people that tried to spoil the Force Awakens, the big death in that movie.
Yeah.
And I hadn't even gone to see it. I was on the crapper and someone tried to spoil it while I'm taking a dump. Like, what's up with that?
Like, my thing is
thanks for the like, Janet. Appreciate it on Facebook.
My thing is this with the whole thing of all these new movies and stuff like that, and everybody having Twitter or Facebook or whatever form of platform, you're getting spoiled. I mean, if you're not seeing the movie the hour that it comes out, you may get a spoiler when you're watching the movie because somebody's ahead of you.
I had a coworker who he had went to see a midnight screening. This is before they had all these like premiere things. Like now you can go on Wednesday.
You can go like 7 o'clock on
which
Wednesday.
Is fine. It's great. But the movie had been out for approximately 2.5 hours because the movie was about 2 hours and 10 minutes, and he was already on his Facebook talking about the movie. I'm like, you just walked out of the theater 20 minutes ago.
Yeah.
You're a jerk. Like that makes you a jerk.
Pretty much. I mean, that's how it goes sometimes. And I think so Gemini Man, like I said, it's a flop. Everybody is saying it's a flop.
Not even a Redbox rental? So I love Will Smith.
So what they're saying is this. I mean, a lot of people expected this big diverse plot, but it's kind of got that like no plot, all action chase down movie. Like people are comparing it to a, hate to say it, worst version of Mission Impossible.
Yeah, but all those movies were actually I think the
Don't say they're good.
The first one was terrible, and then they got progressively better.
But I don't know. They just felt like it was the whole time of just running around. It was just a run around action movie, which I mean that's kind of what I see in the trailer.
That's sort of how I felt about the Fast and the Furious franchise. Yeah. I felt like the first couple of them were like, man, they were all right, but they actually got better as they went along. Whereas a lot of times franchises, when they start getting more ridiculous, you care less and people stop buying tickets to see them.
For sure.
It's like horror franchises, right? By the time that they're done with the Friday the 13th and Hellraiser, and a lot of those just went straight to video or they weren't out very long. And people are like, why do they keep making these movies? I'm going to give you some numbers why they keep making these movies.
Ready? Dropping some knowledge. Here it comes.
The Insidious movies.
So good.
Okay, so
Darth Maul.
The first one cost about, I don't remember the exact dollar amount, but it was under, I think it was right around $20 million to make.
Chump change. Chump change.
How much do you think it made at the box office?
Oh, it probably made way more than that.
It made $220 million.
Yeah. And
that's why horror movies are so... They'll keep churning them out. You keep going to go watch them, they will keep churning them out.
I personally believe you could have probably the worst horror movie idea, but you have a scary trailer. People will go and watch it. You will make your money back.
It's like The Nun, right? So I did not care for The Nun. It had a couple of good jump scares, but overall I thought the movie was poorly paced. The actors in the movie were not... I didn't care about them. Anytime they were in peril, I kind of wanted them to die.
Yeah.
And the ending was dumb. But then they came out a few months later with the Curse of La Llorona, same, universe, the Conjuring universe, and it was awesome.
Oh, for sure.
I loved it. I thought it was great.
2 movies that I've watched over the past week or so. I've watched Jigsaw and Halloween, the new one.
The one that came out like last year?
Yeah, like last year. So Halloween, guys, if you guys have not seen that new movie, it is awesome.
Yeah.
I thought it was overall great. It was creepy. It basically made me want... It was awesome. It really got me in the mood. It's a good warm-up movie for Halloween.
I tell you...
For Halloween spooky time.
I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
I didn't know that I was going to enjoy it as much as I enjoyed it, and I'm a huge fan of the franchise.
It was beautifully done.
Of course, when I say I'm a fan, I've seen all the Halloween movies. I've seen them all more than once, but I would say that I've watched Part 1, Part 2, probably H2O, the first one, and I watched the first Rob Zombie one more than I probably watched any of the other ones.
Yeah, I overall watching this movie, I was pretty much on the edge of my seat. I'm not gonna lie, it was a good movie.
I liked that they basically were like, look, all those other movies that happened after the first one didn't happen.
Yeah.
So you can call it like a multiverse or whatever, and I think that's fine because you can still go through and watch all the other ones and still enjoy them.
It still makes sense.
And or you can just watch this and say that, well, it's a true sequel to the original, and that's fine too. But there were a lot of people that were upset about it until they saw it.
Yeah, but the overall movie itself, kind of giving everybody a little bit of a background because it has been out for over a year now.
Oh yeah, and you can't really spoil that movie. People pretty much know what's going on.
No, so you have Michael. So Michael's basically locked up in this whole confinement area. I mean, there's this doctor that takes care of him. He studied this case inside and out, and all the doctor wants to know, and I think it's like a neat thing psychologically, what makes him kill? Like he feeds off the killing. That's pretty much what he stays alive for, and I think it's awesome. Great movie. Go check it out. Also, the next movie is Jigsaw. Anybody that has watched the Saw franchise, which I am a beloved fan of the Jigsaw whole franchise.
Now I know on my Facebook there's a couple people out there right now who you've just touched base on like two of their most favorite horror franchises of all time.
Yeah.
So we are Saw fans and Halloween fans here. I thought Jigsaw was alright.
What I like so much about the Saw movies is if you can get past the first 30 minutes, maybe 30, 45 minutes, I wouldn't say half the movie, of the overall just the brutal killing ways, the game, as they all call it, it's a really good movie. It turns into a murder mystery type thing, which I love. Because there is no possible way that you can be like, that's the guy.
Yeah.
It's never that guy.
Well, it's really interesting when you go back to the very first Saw movie.
Yeah.
And then you have made it through the other ones and you watch the last one. I mean, they have changed. The overall tone has changed. And that's why it was like pretty much every year they were doing a Saw movie. And do you know why? Because those movies cost nothing to film.
Yeah.
And they would make $200-300 million or more at the box office. So that's why they kept pumping them out. You guys kept going to go see them. Horror movies are the most profitable type of movies ever. They cost nothing to make.
Oh, for
nothing
sure.
I mean, even Halloween. Now, the newish Halloween, which was pretty good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Was like one of the biggest openers for a female lead over the age of 50, I think, ever.
Yeah.
I mean, bravo, Jamie Lee Curtis. And she's still awesome. I mean, she's
still badass.
She is totally badass.
Oh, for sure.
So I just finished watching the original Halloween, 1978 version, and I watched it last year. The Marcus did like that retro series thing, and because I'd never seen it on the big screen.
For sure.
And man, I'm telling you, that movie is still decent.
Yeah.
Even after all this time, it is still decent.
So I guess the only thing that didn't make sense to me is that Michael pretty much had the mask, correct? Like, yeah. Michael's had the mask. So when he kills that first lady in her bedroom, his sister.
Yeah.
They said 6 years old.
Yeah.
So my question is this, because I mean he looked pretty tall. I mean you gotta think she was sitting in a chair when she killed him, and like, I mean obviously camera view, he was like looking down on her. So I mean he had to be a tall 6-year-old.
I don't know, man. Maybe she was in a really low chair.
I don't know, but
you gotta just not look at that. Just watch the movie.
Yeah, but overall, the Saw movie was great. Jigsaw, I thought, was pretty good. It was a good closer, in my opinion. I mean, it was kind of neat.
It would be, except that they're doing another one.
That's fine.
And Jamie Lee Curtis is back.
I'm not going to be mad.
Oh, I'm not going to be mad either. And you know what? Honestly, I'll go watch any movie that she's in. Yeah. I think she's a phenomenal actress. I think she's been consistently good in everything she's done.
Her best movie is Freaky Friday.
I'm telling you,
it's up there.
She was good in that movie, though. I mean, I thought she was awesome. That wasn't even. There was no shade. I thought she was legit awesome in Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Lindsay Lohan, man, but Jamie Lee Curtis was dope.
Yeah.
True Lies, man. She was awesome in True Lies with Schwarzenegger.
One True Villain has a question.
Yeah.
By the way, welcome One True Villain. Welcome to Those Two Nerds podcast. I gotta ask you right now. Do you say GIF or GIF? Put it down below. What do we think on the Fiend? You know who this person is. So Bray Wyatt used to come out with the lantern, stuff like that. So
I thought he was kind of like a rednecky Undertaker.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
So he now has come out as this like he wears this horror mask.
Yep.
Dreadlocks.
He looks like he belongs in Slipknot.
Yeah. So he basically says like he comes out as the Fiend now. He is the Fiend. This demon has taken over him. Thoughts on it? Is it trying to be the next Undertaker, Kane guy?
I think that since the Undertaker is mostly retired,
pretty much, but he looks good.
He does look good, but I'm telling you, that last match he had with Goldberg was painful to watch.
Yes,
and
in a way, yes.
I am a huge Undertaker fan.
Oh, for sure.
When they said he was retiring, I was sad.
Yeah.
Like, I was distraught. That match we watched, and then he took his hat and his coat and everything off. He walked out of the ring. I was just like,
this is bullshit.
I was so mad about it. Because, what's his face? I don't remember his name. That beat him.
It was Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. So, and no disrespect to Roman Reigns. I think that he's fine. Yeah. I think he's going to be one of the big up-and-comers in the...
he's already there. He's there,
you know. And I said it back when he first came out. When he first came out in S.H.I.E.L.D. and stuff, I was like, that dude's going to be huge one day because he's decent on the microphone. And he's got the look. He's not the next Rock, but, you know, he has the look. So what do I think about The Fiend? You can't replace The Undertaker, but...
You can do your best.
I think that
you have to have that character.
They have, like, one creepy character pretty much all the time since The Undertaker came out.
Pretty much people that have kind of done this whole demon / that kind of persona. You have Finn Balor's demon.
It's
demon
because
King.
people like the dark side.
It looks sweet when they come out, the fog machines. And
how do they keep that face paint and stuff from like just wiping off?
Oh, if you see Finn Balor after a match, it just looks like it's gone.
Not all of it though. Like
no, it's like 75%.
You go back and watch some of the old matches with like Sting, and when he was done in the match, he has like pieces of his face peeling off. Like the whole thing's just coming off. I'm like, you look great.
I think the Fiend, it's a great character. I really like what they're trying to do with it. And I mean, it can only go up from there.
I mean, he's no Undertaker, and he got destroyed in Hell in a Cell. What was that about anyway? Like, this is the only wrestling thing we're going to talk about today. What in the hell was that?
So I like his catchphrase. So the Fiend has a catchphrase called Yowie Wowie.
Okay.
And it's like really creepy. Like I said, it's creepy. It's got like that Children of the Corn, like Freddy Krueger, like 1, 2, 3, Freddy's coming for you and all that stuff. Like, better lock your doors. It's just really creepy. But the overall, like, he's great in the ring overall, and that he's lost a lot of weight. They did him so dirty in Hell in the Cell with the whole, you got disqualified for hitting somebody with a steel chair or something.
That dude has been destroying people for like a month.
Yeah.
Just destroying people. And then this is also the same match where they've used sledgehammers. Undertaker threw Mankind off the top of the cage. They didn't stop the match, so he gets hit in the chair with the head a couple of times. Hit in the head with a chair a couple of times.
Chair to head contact.
I mean, was it brutal?
Yeah, but at the same time, it was kind of stupid. A lot of people were very frustrated with the overall match itself.
Do you think that it's possible that he genuinely got hurt and they stopped it?
Well, it was a disqualification.
That's what I'm saying. Do you think that it's possible that he genuinely got hurt?
Well, they've been known to do that where they'll end the match.
I've seen them do that where like a match just kind of ends and you're like, because the match was over way sooner than they were anticipating it to be over too. Like people were, the main event a lot of times is usually at least an hour long usually, and the match was over in like 20 minutes?
Yeah, there was a lot of booing after the match, and a lot of people were very frustrated with it, and a lot of people were like, well, this is why AEW is better, which AEW kind of gives me that ECW / like Monday Night Wars and all that stuff. Like, it's like it's pretty cool.
I think that I think they'll kind of go back and forth with his character. Like the Undertaker had different personas. He had like the biker, and then he had the classic, and then he had like the guy that was in the like the cult. I don't remember what it was called. And then he went back to being like the classic Undertaker.
Yeah.
All those characters like that have always had like different personas.
For sure.
So I think that you haven't seen the last of like him being just Bray Wyatt. I think he'll probably come back at some point as that character.
So
he may end up writing this thing out as like he's almost got like a split personality, or he's got a demon inside of him or something.
For sure.
And I think he'll be fine. I think he's a talented wrestler. I think he's good.
Oh, I mean, yeah.
I think he's gonna hold a title again for sure. I don't have any doubt of that.
They're working it strong. Kind of with that, I think the coolest moments, and I mean, just WWE. My all-time favorite was last WrestleMania when was it Dr. Thuganomics came out?
Oh yeah,
John Cena came out.
People don't know if they love that guy or they hate him.
The only thing I want to see one more time is biker, American Badass, Undertaker come out one more time, drive the motorcycle.
I don't think
down the ramp and just lay house to people.
No, see, that was my least favorite.
You didn't like the
I did not like the
You didn't like Limp Bizkit?
No. No, I like the band.
He doesn't like Limp Bizkit. No.
I just I didn't care for that persona. I felt like he didn't look nearly as intimidating or scary. He just seemed like a dude in jeans. Which he was.
I was gonna say.
I think my favorite Undertaker was. It's either a tie between the classic one where he didn't say much and he still he was like a zombie. Like when he was fighting, he'd like sit up and he'd be all creepy, and I like that one. And I like the one where he was in like the cult, where he was basically heel. He was never really like a good guy until like the end of his career, but he was basically like a heel, and he kept like recruiting all those people into his group, like Viscera. Every time he beat somebody, like they were in the cult, he tried to like sacrifice Stephanie on Raw or something. It was cool. I liked that Undertaker. That was my favorite Undertaker.
Yeah. Kind of a neat thing, actually, since we're talking about WWE. We got to say a big happy birthday to the Latino Heat, Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero would have been 52 this week.
That dude was something else.
You know,
he was.
Viva La Raza or whatever it was.
That dude had the best mullet in the game too.
That dude was awesome. I mean, anybody that probably grew up watching WWE, you've probably heard of Eddie Guerrero. Still, the most like saddest moments in my childhood was obviously finding out about Eddie Guerrero.
Oh, sure.
I mean, just
finding out about
just tears running down my
Chris
face.
Benoit too. Like he was another guy. Like
that name's not even spoke of anymore.
No, they've completely stricken him from records. And that's really a shame.
Yeah. The other one was.
We were just talking about this
not too long ago.
A couple of guys at work and we were talking about the thing that we miss about wrestling from, not the Attitude Era, but I mean the Attitude Era was fine, but the like prior to that was like all the characters had like a gimmick. They had like a neat name. Like they turned being a barber into a tough guy. They turned being, like they all had nicknames, like code names, like they were in G.I. Joe or something. And now it's like Jim Jones down to the ring. You're like, oh, okay. You couldn't have come up with something like Typhoon Kick Jones or something. You know, like anything would have been cooler than just his name.
The biggest heartbreak I think in my life was when Batista turned on Rey Mysterio after they won the titles or something like that. He just like Batista bombed. I mean, because Rey Mysterio, he's the littlest guy in the world. I mean, he's awesome.
Dudes,
but I mean, Batista's like would rip him in half and then
and feed him to ass with him.
Feed him to his pet Chihuahua. Like, I mean, just overall. But WWE always will have a special place, and I appreciate the questions. And anybody that is tuning in, whether it's from Nick Displays Games on Facebook or my Twitch channel.
I have a couple people on. They keep popping in and out. I'm not really sure.
That's what's up. It's all about that. Make sure you guys are all asking your questions. Anything nerdy, we like to answer. We may not get to it right away, but we will get to it before the show ends.
And be aware, there is a slight delay from when you ask your question to where we actually can see it on here.
Like we had somebody today. I didn't even get to read this yet because they were basically told us to kiss already, and I was like, I mean, if it happens, it happens. But
oh, that was on there.
Yeah, it was on here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that was way earlier.
That's weird. We're related.
It is related, but hey, it's all good. But kind of moving on to more, I guess, serious news away from WWE, the fake news.
Whoever said that clearly has some issues that they need to work out on a shrink's couch, and that's okay.
Hearthstone. Many of you guys may know this. It's kind of been a big story over the past week or so. Hearthstone banned a Grandmaster champion, Blitzchung, from Hearthstone for a year of competing. Also took all away his prize winnings and stuff like that, and basically got his account banned. So many don't know, he made a tweet or something like that. It was a post about Hong Kong, because there's a big controversy which we're not going to get into, but Blizzard has ties with China, and Blizzard's like, hey, we'll take this guy's money, and then we get to keep all our money from China.
And again, I don't see how you can take something away from somebody that they earned.
Yeah.
Like, give the dude his money, the end. Like, he earned the money. If you want to ban him from playing because he has a political view that you don't find that your company agrees with, that's fine.
Yeah.
It is in the terms of service. However, I think that it's weak that you're hiding behind your terms of service because someone expressed their political views in a non-controversial, non-hate-filled, non-violence promoting way.
Yeah.
It was very... There was nothing anger about it. It was... Yep. He just was supporting independence for Hong Kong.
Pretty much, yeah.
Whether you're pro, for it, against it, whatever, it doesn't matter. He's from there. He's allowed to feel however he wants.
Yeah, so with Blitzchung, later on in the week, Blizzard pretty much announced a statement, almost like an apology, and basically said, we're going to give him his money still. He did earn it. We're going to reduce his ban, because a lot of streamers were with Blitzchung, and they were like, we're not going to play Hearthstone.
This guy didn't do anything wrong.
No.
You know what I mean? That's the thing that really will upset people is someone getting punished for not really doing anything wrong. Like I said, he didn't promote hate.
No.
He didn't badmouth Blizzard. He didn't really even badmouth China in his support for Hong Kong.
No, he just basically made
He just was like, Hong Kong's great and they should be independent and that's fine, and they're gonna ban him for that. Nah, that's weak. I like Blizzard as a company. I think that they make good stuff. But I'm 100% with the streamers.
Yeah.
So the streamers were like, well, we're not going to stream your game.
Yeah, and that was the nice thing that I saw. I mean, there was a lot of support for this guy, and which is awesome because, we do a lot of people say, hey, you don't have the power to make a change, and obviously this change has helped.
This is the first time I feel like in history, in an era of history where people have so much more say and influence on things that companies do.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of examples of this where companies have come out and changed policies.
Oh, for sure.
Companies have come out and changed things that they're releasing. I've seen it even on games and stuff now. And I'm not just like from a beta standpoint where you're like, well, I'm testing it and this feature would be cool. But they're basically like, we won't even buy this until you implement this and this and this.
Yeah. I mean, there's tons of good things about it.
You have a voice.
Oh, for sure.
And while I think that some people use their voice in stupid ways, promoting, hate and anger and aggression or belittling of others, you still have a voice and use it.
Oh, for sure.
No matter what it is that you're doing. So if a company is doing something that you don't like, you can voice your opinion as to why you don't like that.
Yeah.
And spread that around to everyone. And that's why companies are responding now. Because...
You have to.
Where before all it took was one customer. It might take a while before the news got out, but now the world is, even though it's still big, it's very small.
Oh, for sure.
And bad press spreads so much faster than it ever did.
Yep. So I mean, overall, I'm glad what Blizzard did. I'm glad they refunded the money. And I'm glad that people kind of took a stand for this. Kind of moving on to, continuing with streamers and stuff like that. The nice thing is that I saw, and actually I got a viewer that came to me and messaged me personally, through a message, and they wanted me to ask you and also get my opinion. What is your top 5 streamer tips?
Top 5 streamer tips. Tip number 1: have all the equipment that you need. And if you're not sure, try it without all the equipment and see what you need.
Okay.
I'd say tip number 2: don't be afraid to buy lesser equipment if that's all you can afford. So I guess I would kind of go with number 1.
Yeah.
Let's see. Number 2: get on and just do it.
For sure.
It doesn't matter what you're doing. Just get on there and do it. Try to find your personality and whatever while you're on there, because don't try to be the next ninja or the next whoever.
Mm-hmm.
Be who you are. And you got to also be aware that you may just not be that interesting to watch.
That is true.
And that's okay, right?
Yep.
Let's see. Tip number 3: have fun with whatever you're doing.
I'm on 4.
I think I'm on 3. We'll go 3. Number 3: have fun with whatever it is that you're doing.
For sure.
Because if you're not having fun, no one's going to have fun watching you do it. So don't play a game that pisses you off or makes you angry or
if you want to
makes you rage,
yeah.
Unless it's some kind of a character or a bit that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like if that's the type of persona you want to have, that's fine.
Yep.
And you really almost have to do that. You can't come on and just be you. You almost have a persona when you're online.
For sure.
I'm much more of an arrogant ass when I'm online. I know that's hard to believe. But when I'm online, Nictus takes over. Nictus is his own monster. Nictus is the same Nictus that was controlling all that stuff in World of Warcraft back in the day. Basically, I'm the best at whatever it is that I'm doing. Yeah. And anything that I'm not good at is because I don't want to do it.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's why I don't play Fortnite. Let's see. Tip number 4. Consistency. I would say just get on and do it. Even if no one's watching you, every time you stream, pretend that you have 10,000 people watching you.
For sure.
And if you can, this would be tip number 5. I would say get your friends to watch you.
Yes.
If you're on a media platform at all where you have friends that could maybe come in for even like 20 minutes or whatever, and just talk to you so you can get used to interacting with people while you're doing your thing, it's really good practice. Even if it's if it's your mom, your brother, your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or some coworkers or whatever. A lot of people that watch me right now are my coworkers. Yeah. They are my friends and family. They're people that I know. And I think that's great. I would say that's, so basically what I say: equipment, have fun,
consistency,
personality.
Did you say equipment?
Yeah, that was number 1.
Personality,
and then
be who you want to be.
The last one was we just talked about it. My brain just like completely blanked.
Oh, get on there and talk like you have 10,000 people.
Get people to watch you.
Oh yeah, friends.
Practice that.
Yep.
So what are your top 5?
So top 5, equipment. You don't need to go out and buy tons and tons of. Don't drop $3,000-$4,000 on a setup. Especially if you're just starting out, because you might not like it, and then you're not at least out. So if you're a gamer, you probably have a decent PC.
I say work with what you have first. If
you
have to buy some extra stuff, like you may not have a capture card.
Yep.
But you don't need that if your PC has one built in, or if you're streaming natively from your PlayStation 4 or whatever. So start with what you have.
So like I said, equipment. And if you have questions about equipment, there's tons of small streamers. I highly recommend go to a small streamer that looks like they have pretty good setups.
Yeah.
Not setups, but just overall the stream quality looks good. They probably have a good webcam. They probably have good this. You could go in there and literally just ask, hey, what's your build? And they're pretty nice. Like, they'll be like, here's everything for you.
And back to like that whole equipment thing, internet.
Oh.
If you have terrible internet,
it won't matter.
It's not your download speed. You need upload speed.
Yep. Your ISP also has to be pretty good too.
So you need to be stable. You have to have a stable connection. You have to have a decent upload speed.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't matter how cool your stuff is. No one will be able to see it.
Yeah. I've been streaming now for like realistically almost full time for about a year now. And you definitely have some hiccups. You'll definitely have some growth issues to where sometimes, 1 month you will bang out followers. I mean, you'll get followers, subs. You'll have a great month. And then the next month, it's pretty dead. Like
we still have that though, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Sometimes where I'll be on the air. The one time I was on the air for no lie, about probably 15 minutes, mic was muted.
There you go.
Fortunately, no one was watching me.
Yeah.
So don't let that kind of stuff discourage you. Get into a routine of how you start. Yeah. But like he's saying, you're going to knock out like 15, 20 followers depending on what you're playing, depending on the game you're playing. I've never had that many join at once, and then you might not get any, and you might lose some.
Oh, for sure. And that's the thing. Have fun with it. You have to find the balance. If streaming is a career that you want to have, you can't go into it thinking, I'm going to make millions and millions of dollars.
No.
You need to go into it thinking, hey, I want to grow. I want to give. What am I trying to give when I stream?
Realistically, I would say that most people are going to fall into the casual streamer thing, and they'll get discouraged.
Yep.
I say, now, I'm not a professional, not even a semi-professional. I'm not making any money doing it. Mine is more of a hobby. I do it for fun. But I would say don't get discouraged and just keep doing your thing.
Yeah, and like when I get on and stream, I always try to give back something to my viewers. I want them to get on. The reason why they get on and watch me is not only to support me because they like me, but also because when they're here, they have a good time. It's interesting, it's entertaining for them, and that's what it's all about, guys. It's entertainment, and you have to find the balance between fun and work, because when you become a full-time streamer, it is work. It is a job.
That's why I am a filthy casual. But I have a real job. I don't get paid.
But that's what I'm saying. So if you treat it like a job, but you're also having fun, it won't feel, when you're banging out 8-9 hour streams, they don't feel like 8 or 9 hour streams because you got people talking to you, you got people chatting with you, you got the regulars, you got the new people. Feels great. Tip 3, find you. And I promise you this much. I've went through about probably easily a dozen characters over the course of a year because 1 month it works being that crazy loud, like acting stupid on stream, like, oh my god, I just got a kill, and you act like you've just won the Super Bowl, and you'll go through a ton of them. So just find you. If it works, run it for a little bit, and when it kind of slows down a little bit, maybe switch it up, maybe think about what you were doing before. So personality, I agree with. 4, consistency, not only with just streaming, but media posts. Stay up to date.
Always. We kind of slack at that.
We slack as far as this go, but as far as when I go live, I always make a tweet. And if I'm live for over 2 hours or so, I make another tweet saying like, hey, I'm still live, come check me out. Because you may miss it. Twitter's a big thing. If people follow lots of people, you're going to miss it. And so consistency, just kind of staying up to date on social media. You don't have to be, Twitter up your butt, or even Instagram, Facebook, whatever it may be.
And if your natural personality is like pretty entertaining, go with that.
Yeah, and
you don't have to like put on a mask. Just no one wants to sit a guy going, "Oh, cool, I got a weapon."
Yeah,
no one wants to watch that. No one cares.
Number 5, and I will say this, and Twitch and any streaming service. I'm a firm believer that if you put the time in, you will eventually reach the top. As long as you're doing the right things.
I don't agree with that, but I think that you can be successful.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you may not be the top 5 streamers in the world. That's okay. But if you get on and you're like, hey guys, I stream every day to you guys, and I make enough money to basically say, hey, I don't need a job. I'm just going to support you guys.
We're not there yet.
One day, yes, one day.
We'll get there.
But
I agree with all those tips. I think those are some pretty fair tips.
But like I said, that was a viewer question / like they wanted us to talk about it. I don't know if they're in here. Can't really remember the name.
I would also say like find the platform you like.
Yeah. Not everybody's gonna make it on Twitch. Not everybody's gonna make it on Mixer. You may like Facebook over Mixer.
Twitch is great because it's big, it's massive.
Yeah.
And sometimes people can stumble into your channel, especially if you like to play games that aren't really super popular.
For sure.
There's other people out there that also like those games, but you can't expect to, make $1 million sitting around playing Hello Kitty Adventure Island. Like
that's a great game. Why would you disrespect that game?
That's not the point. The point is like you might be the only person streaming it, but sometimes that can work to your advantage. Works for Ninja.
It did.
He took a game that no one was playing, no one gave two craps about.
Everybody was on the PUBG kick, and then he was sitting there grinding Fortnite.
And he's out there having a great time playing that, and people were checking it out. And the next thing you know,
he's the next. He's the face.
Celebrity.
He's the face of gaming.
He's the Cinderella story, because there were a bunch of big streamers, but no, it was that big.
No, Ninja pretty much laid the foundation. I mean, there's other people that laid the foundation for huge streamers. Like you have Soda Poppin', you have Asmongold, you have Ninja.
I actually been watching Asmongold.
He's hilarious.
Not like live. I'm watching old clips. I watched him.
Dude, he is funny.
I watched him playing Elder Scrolls for the first time, and like when certain things would happen, you could see this like smile on his face, like this is cool, and I'm gonna tear some stuff up with this. So because that was when I was kind of on the fence about playing, so I went and I watched that, and this is what I do now sometimes when I'm on the fence about a game, whether it's gonna be fun. Yeah, you can go check reviews. I go watch people play it.
Yeah. From the also handsome sub, this is my duo. When I played League of Legends, Spartan, he is one of my new buddies. I mean, honestly, we've been playing League, like grinding it. And he kind of came on with a comment that said, when you got a game like League of Legends or a top tier game, it's very polluted with streamers, so it's very hard for people to find you. When he plays games like Total War 3, something that's really low tier, it gives him the most viewers. I 100% agree, but this is why it comes back down to the friends thing. If your friends open up tabs for you, whether they're there or not, it helps. So tell your friends about it. Make them bring hype to the channel. My brother constantly watches me stream. He'll come in here and say, "Hey, what's up, guys?" Like,
well, that's the
tries
thing.
To get it interactive.
Just because a game's popular, a lot of times you'll get people maybe trickle into your channel.
Yeah.
But the thing that, like, this is a two-edged sword. Sometimes you can get some followers that way. I mean, you've had a lot of success with Fortnite.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how League is going for you.
It's actually going great.
Better than I thought. The thing with those games is, though, unless you're good, you won't get people to stick around watching you.
Yeah.
They might trickle in and go, "I like your personality, but you suck."
Pretty much.
And if you suck at a game,
it's hard to watch.
It's hard to watch. Unless that's your spin, like that's your spiel, like
I suck.
Your thing is that you suck at gaming, then that's fine. If that's your character, that's cool. But no one wants to watch a mediocre player. No offense, I mean, no one cares.
Yeah.
Unless it's your friends or whatnot. So unless you're amazing at a game, I would say don't try to necessarily stream the most popular games out there. Yep. Stream something that's, people are playing, obviously. Yep. But unless you're amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Then no one's going to care.
For sure.
I got a comment over here from Janet. This goes clears back. I missed it. It goes back to the whole Hearthstone banning. Just because you have a voice and an opinion doesn't mean you had to say it, though, either. And I agree with that to a lot of extent. But I'm fine with someone who is promoting their own personal views on things, as long as it's not in a negative, hate-filled way.
For sure.
Especially if it's something that they're doing on their own personal Twitter, or on their streams, or on their Facebook, or on their Instagram, or whatever. I don't agree with it when celebrities and famous people use their podium during award ceremonies and things where people are like, "Hey, we appreciate what you do for music, or we appreciate what you do for movies or TV," and they want to use that as a platform to be anti-Republican or anti-Democrat or anti-guns or that's not the platform for that.
Yeah. And that kind of brings up a good point. I don't know.
That's why I don't watch like the Academy Awards and shit anymore.
This was like the trending thing on Twitter. It was a thing with like Ellen and George Bush. They were sitting there,
I actually saw that.
They were sitting there at a Cowboys game and they're just chit-chatting. They look like they're having the best time in the world. But everybody was like, "Well, this person's so against you."
He's a Republican, and therefore he's a conservative. Therefore, he probably doesn't agree with people being gay.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean that he hates gay people.
No.
There's a lot of misconception there that if you are conservative, you hate gay people, and there are a lot of conservatives that hate gay people.
Yeah.
Like 100% hate them.
But at the same time, not even getting political about it. She pretty much just came out and said, was like, "Hey, just because we don't share the same views doesn't mean we can't be friends. Doesn't mean I can't like you."
I guarantee you she didn't vote for him. when he was running for president, Ellen DeGeneres probably did not vote for George Bush.
Yeah.
George Jr. Like she didn't vote for him, and that's okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, at the end of the day, I mean, everybody deserves a voice. Everybody deserves to be heard.
The thing I liked about
don't bash
was Ellen DeGeneres is probably one of the most beloved celebrities.
She's an icon.
Like, maybe ever, right? And when she comes out and basically says that people are being stupid about something,
they change.
Well, that definitely makes them think about it.
Yeah.
When Ellen tells you that you fucked up,
you feel bad.
You fucked up.
Yeah, it's like when your dad or your mom says, "I'm disappointed."
Yeah.
Like, you feel sad. But I mean, overall, like,
I don't agree with all of her politics, but I think that she's a positive person. I think that she's a good person. Yeah. And seeing her sitting there with George Bush didn't bother me in the slightest bit.
No, and I don't get triggered about it. And it kind of goes back to the Hearthstone thing. Like, he has his voice, and that's okay. Because, you know what? People that didn't support it, he didn't bash them. He didn't care. He just basically put his word out there, and that's it. I mean, it's no different than us getting on this podcast telling you guys what we think about movies and stuff like that. It's just our opinion.
It's our opinion, and you may agree with us. You may disagree with us.
But that's okay.
We also don't sit here and slander something so bad that...
We try to change your mind, I guess. We don't try to change your view.
No, I'm not going to sit here and try and convince you of all the ways that this movie is terrible or this game is great. You know, it's just my opinion. And we don't go into a lot of politics here because...
It's not the place.
You guys don't care anyway.
Yeah.
That's not why you come to. This is Those Two Nerds, not Those Two Nerds Talk Politics. We talk about
those
nerd
two politics,
stuff.
Yeah.
So unless somebody cool like The Rock runs for president, which by the way I would vote for that dude. I don't even care which party he would run for.
Yeah.
Because I just want to see him getting on like his presidential speech, right? Like his State of the Union, and he gets out there and like there's some trouble going on in another country. And I'll pick some country that never fucks with us, so people aren't like, well,
Canada,
you're a racist.
Canada.
It'd be like Canada or Switzerland, right? So he'll come out there and be like, and to all you people over there in Canada, and he'll do his little eyebrow raise, like we're coming. And I believe him, right? Like, because he's The Rock.
Yeah. Turn it sideways and stick it right up your...
Could you imagine how good the speeches would be from
for sure.
The Rock if they let him just be himself?
Yeah, they'll let him be the hype, man.
Yeah, I'd vote for that guy.
I kind of want to end with this comment right here. Ellen telling you that you effed up is the equivalent of Canada declaring war on you.
In essence, yeah.
When it happens, you done effed up, Aaron. Which many of you guys don't know that. My name is Aaron. So, according to Dr. Bias, I come here to ask Nick Display's game to borrow his beer pong table.
I don't have a beer pong table. You need to go talk to your aunt.
All right.
Your aunt has a beer pong table, and I'm sure that she would be more than happy to let you borrow it.
All right, guys. Well, it was a pleasure.
Who is this guy coming on our stream asking us family questions?
Yeah. Yeah, you're trying to tear his family apart.
Yeah, seriously. You're the reason that Christmas sucks.
Yeah. Okay. So, you know, as we kind of wrap up things on Those Two Nerds, we do a quick recap. Everybody get your last minute questions in before we say goodbye for episode 11. Is it GIF or GIF? Drop it in the chat to let us know. But it was a good one. I really like this one. We got a lot of good topics in. PS5 confirmed. New control.
Before we go to the recap, how are you doing on your Halloween horror? 31 Halloween type movies in 31
Today's the 13th. 2 out of 13.
You have watched 2. I am at 10. I watched 4 this morning, though.
Okay.
What have you watched?
Halloween and Jigsaw.
That's it?
That's it.
Are you actually going to make an attempt for this?
I'm going to try.
Because you watch way more movies than I do. I'm actually really disappointed that you're not further ahead.
I've been trying to watch a movie when I lay down because I've been laying down really late, but I can't finish it.
Yeah. So I've watched quite a few. I won't even list them all, but I'd say my favorite ones that I've watched were ones I've already seen. I did watch that new Annabelle movie, Annabelle Comes Home, and I watched that with your sister, and that's
pretty good.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, so according to Dr. Bias, he said he made a question and it was ignored. It's because it really wasn't a question. You said, bro, Jason Statham and Dwayne The Rock Johnson ruined the Fast and Furious. Just saying. That's not a question.
That's a statement.
That's a statement.
Okay, so he said Jason Statham and Dwayne The Rock Johnson ruined the franchise. Did you see how much money that movie made?
Oh, it made a lot.
So, I don't necessarily disagree with your opinion, but it doesn't matter if you're right or wrong because
Look him in the camera.
That movie made a lot of money.
But
and you know what that means, don't you? There will be a Hobbs and Shaw part 2.
Yeah. So, overall, like, yeah, the movies have been going well. I've been trying to get better with it. It's tough. But there's a lot of good movies out there.
All right, so back to recap.
PS5, SSDs, controllers confirmed.
It's gonna be so sweet. I'm so excited.
Cross platforms, Hearthstone bans, getting trying to make up for the bad things. Ninja's numbers not really increasing Mixer, only increasing his and pulling away from others. Fortnite sucked into a black hole. Kind of going to get an update. I haven't really checked that since we've been on.
Yeah, have we got any more word on what is going on with that?
Let's do a quick Twitter check.
Well, while he's looking that up,
Yeah,
Mortal Kombat 11 is free to play for this weekend or next week or something.
Yep.
So download it if you want. It's fun. A lot of good times on that. Mortal Kombat 11.
Okay.
Let's see what else did we hit on.
You're
looking up.
I got it. Well, nothing has changed in Fortnite. The only thing that has changed is numbers have appeared on the bottom of the screen, and nobody knows what these numbers mean. Gemini Man was a flop. Joker's still top box office. So Fortnite, if you guys haven't seen it, it was sucked into a black hole, and now when you go into the game, there is no I want to join a solos, I want to join a duos, I want to join this. It is just a black hole picture and an exit thing, and that's it. And there's numbers on the bottom of the screen.
I seriously think it might be a Halloween event of some kind.
Well, it's season 11, so it's season 11. They do these seasons for like 3 months on end. So it's probably it's to release the new map. Most likely, that's probably the leak. We did streamer tips and tricks, so make sure you guys check that out. That was a good segment.
We talked a lot about wrestling today too.
WWE, that was a viewer question. So make sure you guys watch.
Any more comments from Dr. Bias over there?
By the way, it says with a shark. I bet
he's not a doctor yet.
He's no, not even close.
His name is a lie.
Can you go to jail for impersonating a doctor? We'll be calling the feds.
Oh, did you hear about that dude? I forget where he was at. He was basically impersonating a doctor for years. And, I mean, he was performing surgeries. He was prescription drugs, signing his name on stuff. Did not have a PhD. And they caught him, I forget how long ago it was, because a malpractice suit. Like, he did surgery on someone and they died or something.
Yeah.
That's how they caught him. This dude had been practicing medicine for like 20 years. I mean, no PhD. Clearly, he knew what he was doing. He's been a doctor for 20 years, and he only had one patient die. I feel like it's pretty good odds.
Yeah, it's not bad.
That was a really morbid joke, and I'm sorry. No doctor wants to see their patients die.
You said you had a PhD. You had a pretty huge... Oh. D. For... That's what the viewers ask. The viewers ask what the viewers ask. But yeah, guys, it was an awesome stream today. I'm glad everybody checked in. We had a lot of new faces. We got some new followers. Heroes Never Die, and also One True Villain. Thank you for the questions coming in. Dr. Bias, Spartan, you know the vibes. We're out here chilling with those two nerds. Episode 11.
Facebook. Looks like Jason, Julia, Jamie stopped by for a minute. Janet was here. Looks like Gary was here for a minute. It looks like Devin stopped by for a second. So thank you everybody that stopped by. Appreciate all the comments. Leave comments on the video after it's left. Ooh, I got a...
What?
Something happened.
That's Twitch.
Huh?
That's Twitch.
I got a...
Is now following. I don't know. It popped up as a Twitch notification.
That's weird. I'm not on Twitch.
It might have it linked still. That's weird. Thank you for the follow, Spartan.
Thank you for the follow, but man, that's weird. That should have actually popped up on Facebook.
Maybe he followed you on Twitch.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, he might have. I'm on there. I'm not on there very much, but thank you for the follow on Twitch.
Yeah.
That's what it was. You figured out the mystery. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't use Twitch that often. But yeah, thank you for the follow. I very much appreciate it.
So according to Dr. Bias, he calls himself the Doctor of Love, baby. Just ask my wife. And I'm like, okay.
That's another lie. He's not married yet.
You're not married yet. Why are you lying?
Man, your name is a lie. You're not married.
And the true doctor of love is either Gene Simmons,
yeah,
or Paul Stanley.
I'd go with Gene Simmons. Didn't he write the songs?
I mean, I guess, but Paul Stanley
I don't
sings
know.
them.
That whole band is amazing. I love Kiss so much.
Yeah, but make sure you guys go check out Nick Displays Games on Facebook. You guys should have to look it up. It is all one word.
It's on the bottom right where I'm sitting.
Right
if
there.
You type that in, NICTUSS Plays Games. If you type in that name, Nictus,
you'll probably find it.
You'll probably find me.
Yep. And then also, guys that are on Facebook, come drop a follow on Vera Coach on Twitch. Twitch is an application you must download either through the Google Play Store, Android, whatever store, Apple, and do that thing. It's pretty cool.
All right, good stream.
Good stream. Episode 11, GIF or GIF. What do you say?
I say GIF.
I say GIF.
Just because I've always called it that.
GIF is for peanut butter.
Yeah, GIF is really good.
Yeah. So thank you guys all so much, and those two nerds are gonna go grab some tacos.
All right, it's taco time.
Taco time. Soon as I wake up the mouse, we might actually get some. Oh, there's the hiccup. Finally got it out for the day. Thank you guys so much.
Thanks for watching.
Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Watch some football. We're pointing.
We're doing the point.
We're doing the point. Okay.
You guys.
Are we gonna do like the trunks, like in the where they go like that?
Like where they fuse?
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I don't want to do that.
Okay, sounds good. Talk to you later, guys.
Later.